Let it be clear through the first 3-4 posts exactly what you do. Let somebody not stay on your page up to 1 minute and not be able to define what you do, right? Let it be very clear. Like, let it be clear in your messaging, let it be clear in the way you post and everything, exactly what you stand for. So I'm headed for my 3rd brand event this year. This is actually my first time attending a brand dinner. I figured in my mind that, okay, this will be one way to really, you know, add to the thing I've always wanted to talk about, which is how you can start having today I will not talk about how you start getting paid partnerships or paid deals. Today I'm going to be talking about how you get those brands or these brands you have in mind to send you free products all the time. So without further ado, let's start my makeup because your girl is running late. So I'm just going to be keeping my makeup real simple. I'm just going to quickly open up my notes here. You all know that I am here for you. Like, I'm here to see you all win. I'm here to, you know, like, carry as many people who want to be carried along with me on this journey. I am, you know, like, always invested in sharing as much as I can freely. And yeah, so let's get into this. I'm not going to be talking too much about the makeup. You know how the sit down videos are. You need your notes, you need your jotter and your pen. This is what a lot of people charge you money to tell you. So I am here to tell you for free. And you guys know, most of you have been with me on this journey, so you know I'm always keeping it real. So you guys know I'm always keeping it real with you. Like, I'm always telling you guys the tea. Whatever I try that works for me, I'm always like, okay, you know what, this is the real deal. You know what I mean? So the first thing I want to talk about, like, I mean, why do you want to get brands to send you stuff? I always will ask you, what is your why? Because you need to understand the reason you're doing what you're doing. If you're here just basically and you just want to just collect stuff from people without, if you want to just collect stuff from people without really making an effort to, you know, give anything in return, sis, this is not the place for you. Do you want to get those brand deals because you want it to be like easy for you to, you know, create the content that you're already making, basically like you're getting the products for free, which makes it easy for you if, for example, you've already been making those contents using your money to buy the stuff, you know. These were the things I had to define for myself, and part of the reason why when I had transitioned, so in case you're meeting me for the first time or in case you're stopping by for the first time, I have been a professional makeup artist for the last 15 years plus, almost 16 years now. I pretty much all these years focused on, you know, just working on clients, bridals and all of that, and by God's grace I really, you know, was like true to my craft, and I had like lots of clients that God blessed me with. After my brand turned 15 years, I started believing and knowing that God was calling me to more, right? So while I was doing makeup artistry and working on clients, I also was taking classes, right? So it was very clear that God wanted me to narrow down on, you know, doing my classes and work with a lot of more brands, right? So yeah, that was what I eventually did. So now I basically focus on my coaching. I mentor people. I own my brand Beauty by Telsey, which launched about 1 year ago. And yeah, now I work with brands as well. So yeah, and it has been, by God's grace, going really well so far, which is the reason why I feel the need to, you know, make this video and share everything that I know with my lovely people who have been through this channel from the onset. So after you've identified the reason why you want to do it, I knew for a fact that, here's my sponge. After you identify the reason why you want to do it, the next thing that is most important right after you've identified the reason why I say so is because some brands that maybe may want to work with you, I have seen where a couple of brands would ask you questions like, why do you think you're like the right person that we should work with, you know, stuff like that. You know, a brand can ask you depending on, you know, what they are looking for, and some people may just want that extra clarity, you know. So yeah, you want to know the reason why you're doing what you're doing. And now the next thing you want to do is to make sure that you define your niche. I know that there are a lot of videos flying online telling you, oh no, don't niche down and all of that. And allow me to explain what exactly I'm talking about. What I mean by you define your niche is that I'm not going to say, oh, for example, if you're in the beauty space, that you should only do makeup tutorial, for example. I would say niche down to, like, for example, beauty, but have subtopics that you cover under that beauty. I'll use myself for an example. If you've been following my page or you've been following me for a long time, you will know that I started pretty much, I mean, at that time I wasn't into influencing. So as at the time when I started beauty influencing, right, I was pretty much doing mostly just makeup services at the beginning. which at that time I wouldn't call myself an influencer, because even though in my mind I had believed that yes, I want to, you know, influence for brands, there were a lot of things that I wouldn't say, you know, knowing what I know now, like I don't even think any brand will pay me attention. And I need you to understand that it has nothing. When I used to hear people say it, they will say things like, oh, it has nothing to do with the number of your followers. Someone who has like half of your followers or even way less can be getting by far more brand deals than you, who, you know, has all the audience. The truth is that it's not about the number of people who follow you. It's about the value the brand sees that you are going to bring to them if they choose to work with you. What do they see as their ROI, which simply means return on investment? When they look at your brand or look at the, you know, what you're going to bring to them after they work with you, this is like in quote now for the paid services, you know, they'll want to know, okay, what value are you bringing? Are you going to, you know, make them grow sales, or is it going to be just pretty much almost the same and they're going to lose money or product? A lot of people believe that, oh, because they want to niche down, they can only serve or post about that particular thing that they are known for. If you're doing this, you just might be making a huge mistake, and this may be hurting your growth, because I will tell you for a fact that even you're as a person, you definitely would have multiple things that interest you, but I would say that have everything under the same umbrella, right? For example, I'm in the beauty space. When I have outings, I show my outfit. I do like a get ready with me. I have sometimes where I come and I talk, because that's something I do freely and I enjoy it. I like to, you know, motivate people. Once in a while, you see me drop a post, maybe doing my makeup, and then you see me, you know, talking to people and advising people, right? So you want to make sure that you kind of like under the same umbrella. So you're not going to probably, maybe you may not see me on my beauty page cooking, or maybe you not see me bathing my baby, like, or showing things that don't relate to beauty. Maybe not. Even if I would, it would be once in a while, like a one-off kind of post. But my point is that I'm going to mostly focus on that my umbrella, which is beauty. So you could see me doing my makeup and I'm talking, so I'm still within the beauty space. If you could see me, you know, dressing up, that's still beauty. You can see me maybe doing my hair, that's still beauty. So basically I'm under the beauty industry, but I'm not limited to just doing makeup, right? So this is for people who want to, you know, have a little bit of spice, you know, to their this thing. And also it gives you leverage. It gives you opportunity to, you know, open up yourself and the possibility of working with multiple brands. Under the same umbrella, you'd want to now create content that, you know, can kind of like allow you to be versatile, but at the same time you're niche down. I don't know if that makes sense. You want to be under one umbrella but give us a little bit of something here and there. If a brand comes to you and they can't really tell where you stand, they may not really be able to tell that whatever it is that, you know, you do would resonate with the audience you have, because it would be difficult for them to, you know, believe that, okay, I mean, because people come to you or people follow you because they feel like, oh, this is the kind of content you create. But if they can't tell for sure that this is the kind of content you create, it means that they're kind of like confused, and no brand wants to work with anybody, whether free or paid, that they feel like it's going to be a total waste of time. I'm telling you, make sure that you are clear on your messaging. The other thing you want to do is, this question always comes up: should you pitch a brand, like, which means reach out to them, send them a message and say, oh yeah, this, I want to work with you with, like, for this reason, or should you wait for them to reach out to you? This is a very common question, and I'm going to answer it just in a second. And I will tell you honestly, when I started, which has not even been long, I haven't been influencing for up to a year, maybe just about a couple of months. When I tell you that, I mean, when I started, I was like watching all the videos, people would say different things. It was like some informations were like straightforward, other ones would even confuse you more and stuff like that. The question is always, should I talk to brands? Should I pitch them? You know, should I wait for them to reach out to me? And I'll be honest with you, I'll tell you the options that I had and what I did and what worked for me. When I started, I watched a lot of videos that said, oh, pitch the brands, talk to them, let them know that, oh, this is what you wanted to do. I had one day, I'll never forget, I wrote down about 50 different brands that I felt like, oh, I wanted to work with. I wrote down like all these big brands and everything. And I won't lie to you, none of them answered me. A few did answer, like when I mean answer me, like it didn't yield any immediate result. I don't know if it did, if it affected anything in the future or eventually, I don't know, but I will just tell you that None of them in the moment said, oh, okay, yeah, I see your message, we want to work with you. I didn't get that from any brand at all, right? And that doesn't mean that it doesn't work. I'm only speaking for what works for me as a person, right? So now you might want to ask, okay, you know, as a beginner, should I try that? I feel like it works different for a lot of people, right? But one thing I will tell you for a fact is that any brand you're pitching, right, they are going to check your page. And if maybe you just started influencing 2 days ago and then you're already reaching out to them and asking themselves, sis, you most likely will be wasting your time. Because anybody who you're pitching, even though you feel like, oh yeah, it's a free service, it's just PR package, they invested money into all of those things. Nobody would want to send a package to someone or people that they do not feel or believe would yield or give them the desired results, okay? So you want to make sure that you already have something ongoing on your page, because the email that always comes will always say something like, oh, hey, we see your content and we like it. So which means there has to be something for them to have seen. I have ruined a little bit on my brow. There has to be something for them to have seen, for them to now say, okay, yeah, this person kind of like resonates with the kind of person we want to work with. So you have to, like, sis, like I always tell you people, if you want to really do this thing, you cannot be lazy about it. You cannot, like, it's not even possible. You cannot be lazy about it. You cannot post the days you feel like. Sis, the days I don't feel like is actually the day I post, which is the reason why I always advise people, which is a topic for another day. Plan your content up front, like have it ready, planned, so that even though you wake up and you're not in the mood, post it and leave the Instagram for us, you know. So yeah, but if you want to start planning your content the morning that you're not feeling yourself, it will definitely make it that it will be so difficult for you to pull through, because you know your body and your spirit may just be fighting against the content on that day, and a lot of things may just be working against you. But if the content has already been done prior, it'll be easy for you to just drop it. So my point is, so even when you pitch, it's not a guarantee. It's just that, yes, it kind of like makes a few brands, or makes some brands, the people who open the message, to notice you, right? So which means that if they open their page and they are not able to resonate, so pitching can go both ways, right? I feel like if you pitch a brand and they open your page and what you have going on is it's not adding up with what they want, it just may be a turn off to them even in the future, right? It has an advantage and a disadvantage. So in the future, they may still feel like, this person, we don't understand what she's all about, right? So, and just, you know, be not interested in even being open to you in the future. Some may still be, but some may just be like, oh yeah, we tried her before and it just didn't work, without really understanding that you've actually now grown and all of that. So I just feel like you want to make sure that you are, you know, already posting exactly the kind of things that, don't be reaching out to food brands when you're not in the food industry, right? Make sure that you're reaching out to people that when they open your page, they see the value that you are going to bring to them, and they would have no choice than to work with you. I didn't keep pushing because I just felt, okay, I just had that feeling that if God wants me to do this, I wouldn't have to overly struggle. But that is, I don't even know if that's a message. I'm just being honest with you people, and that's not to discourage you from pitching brand. It's going to actually be easy for brands to notice you, especially for those who do not have a lot of followers. So I would encourage you to pitch them, but like I said, make sure that you are, you know, open to, you know, have your page like being the way you want them to see you, right? So put in the work first, like, you know, take a couple of months or 1 month, whatever, depending on the amount of work you can put in that period, and get things going first, so that if you pitch a brand, you're not just wasting your time. If not, lots of them will read your message and not answer you. But I myself eventually just started getting a lot of brands reach out to me. The brand I'm going for their event this evening, they reached out to me. When I worked with NARS, they reached out to me. When I worked with CeraVe, they reached out to me. Stila, they reached out to me. Like, I haven't been lucky with pitching brands. Like, the time I tried it, like I said, it just didn't work. So that doesn't mean it won't work for you. This is not to discourage you. Define your content style. If someone comes to your page, even if somebody lost their way and they mistakenly stumbled on your page by mistake, let it be clear through the first 3-4 posts exactly what you do. Let somebody not stay on your page up to 1 minute and not be able to define what you do, right? Let it be very clear. Like, let it be clear in your messaging, let it be clear in the way you post and everything, exactly what you stand for. I like modest fashion. I have always believed that there are a lot of people who do not like, there are not a lot of people who represent modest fashion. And I told myself that if ever I'm going to post myself getting ready, I would want to represent modest fashion, because that's one thing I like, and that's one thing I believe in. And also that's something I feel like makes me unique, right? So yeah, You want to be very clear. You're not going to see me today post indecent dressing, tomorrow post decent dressing. It's confusing. Where do you stand? I believe in decency. It doesn't mean that there's not been times in the past where I was stuff that today I'm not proud of, but I have grown. Now I'm at a place where I am very much like, okay, you know what, this is what I want to do, and I want to just stick with that. Okay, so you have to be very clear on your messaging. These things play a big role. It still ties to the first thing I said about how if your message is not very clear, a brand will come to your page and they cannot see themselves in your audience, right? So, and that is a very big misrepresentation for your brand. So you want to make sure that you're very clear on your messaging and everything is crystal clear. So as much as possible, I know that while this whole journey is on, it's easy to get carried away and just want to be like every other person, but you want to ensure that you are yourself no matter how hard it gets. Even when you feel like, oh yeah, you're losing track, find your way back to who you are, sis. I know why I'm saying this. This is what will get you paid. A lot of times when I see that brands are, one thing that a lot of brands say when they reach out to me is, oh, we see that your content is unique, and they're not just saying it. They're not just trying to flatter you. They're telling you the truth. Let me just use a very random example. If you're like maybe in the fashion space and you happen to have a lot of brands that you want to work with, and brands, they want to have people representing the big people, the small people, the people who are like the Asians, the Caucasians, the blacks. They want to have different people representing different places. So imagine that God has positioned you to be the one representing the people who come from maybe the Asians, or the people who sound like the Chinese, or the people who sound like Nigerians, and you have chosen to leave that space to go and be copying somebody who was born and bred in North America, and the way they sound, the way they look and all of that. You have left the space that God has created for you. There's no, like, literally someone else, God will raise another army to take up that space, because you have left what God called you to do, to look for what God didn't ask you to do. And what happens is that when brands start looking for somebody in that space, you will not be there. They will not find you there, because they have already taken the people they want from the other side. You cannot even fit in the way you think you do, because you are not you. It would tell in your content. So always remember that there can only be one you. There cannot be two of you existing. It's only you. So when you choose to leave your space and go where they did not send you, sis, you're not doing yourself a favor. And it makes it difficult for you to attract brands, because they want unique people. Like sometimes they would have already paid a couple of people in the same style, or people who do the same thing. They are looking for other people, other kind of voices, other kind of representation. So it's so important that when you want to go on this journey, you are very, very careful to be authentic no matter how. One thing you want to also do is to tag the brands. Most of my beauty related videos, or whatever I'm doing most of my videos, you see me show the product, tag them in the comment, somehow show the brand that you're going to bring them some form of value. Tagging them also attracts them, because it's easy for, like, there's so many people tagging them. So when you tag them, they have their social media management in most cases, audience for them. So yeah, it would be like a way to attract them, to draw their attention in when you tag them on your post. Okay, that is something you want to do all the time. Don't feel like you're giving away information for free. If you're not ready to give away information of all these things for free, then sis, you're not ready. Another thing you want to do that helps you get seen by these brands is commenting on their pages, right? I don't do so much of this, but the few times I did, they would comment back, and sometimes, not all the time. That obviously is a way of you knowing that, sis, they are seeing you. Like if somebody took time to reply you or something, they are seeing you. There's a reason for that, okay? So you want to make sure that you always constantly comment on their page. Don't go and be dropping emoji oh, this is nice, gorgeous, can't wait to try it. Show them, and sometimes they would go through your page without you even knowing. Which still brings me back to the first thing I said. You have to be ready. You have to always be ready for that thing which you're praying for. You cannot be praying for it and you're not ready. You have to be ready to receive it. You have to be ready to own it. You have to be ready to enjoy it. So prepare yourself so that when they start reaching out to you, you know that you are prepared. Initially when I started, I thought that, okay, just because I have a couple of followers here and there, maybe that would just be a ticket. But sis, I had to put in the work. You guys see me here every now and then. I'm putting in the work. I don't show up because I feel like, a lot of times I just don't want to film. I just want to do my thing and go. But I had to, because I know my goal. So it's so important that you position yourself, put in the work, and sis, everything else will align. online. And if you did find this video helpful, please do not forget to give me a like. It's free to give a like, you guys. It's free to subscribe. Nobody will take any money from your accounts for subscribing. So please subscribe to support my channel, and let me know your questions in the comments, because that is where I always get my topic that I talk about from. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below. I'll be in the comments checking them out. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video, which is the part 2 of this video. So make sure you look out.